Welcome to EMTB videos.
Do you remember the old Thok Mig? It was launched some 3 years plus minus ago, I think. And it was, well, a peculiar looking bike. It had this red sort of web-shaped cover over the battery. So it was an all black or all dark gray frame with just this red cover over the battery on the down tube. So it was like screaming, "Look at this lump!" And yeah, I know some people liked it. I thought it was sort of strange. You could also get the bike with a gray battery cover or cage, but I didn't think it looked that much better because the sort of web-shaped frame, it had a lot of bars going in every direction, and so did the frame. There were like lines in every direction. It was looking kind of, yeah, it wasn't really neat and tidy. But of course, looks is subjective, so I know people enjoy the bike, and usually I don't comment too much on the looks, but I am making an exception for the Thok, because the Thok Mig 2 is changed a bit, and it looks so much better. I think it looks as good as any external battery bike. And all they did was they changed the color scheme and they changed the cover. It looks sleeker and there's not like bars crossing each other everywhere. So I think this bike really is quite nice looking. So the battery is hidden under this cover, of course. It's a 500 watt-hours Shimano, the old BT 8010 external battery. And you open it and you close it by twisting this bolt. Being an entry-level bike, it's got the Shimano E7000 motor. And when riding with the other riders, with the Bosch Performance CX and the Shimano EP8, we definitely feel it's a less powerful motor. But when riding alone, not going as hard as you can, when you just want to get up the hills to go down again, it really offers nice help. It's a quite silent motor and it's easy to control on the trails. So sure, the E7000 motor is a decent choice for this kind of bike. The bike has got 140mm travel rear and 150mm travel front, making the Thok Mig more of a trail-oriented, all-round kind of EMTB. The Thok Mig 2.0 isn't the same bike as the old Thok Mig. There are some changes to geometry, but it's not much. Head angle is 66 degrees, which is nice and slack for a sort of less aggressive trail bike. Seat tube angle is 75 degrees, really good. The chainstay length is 450mm. Perhaps sort of long for a bike with a 27.5 rear wheel, but it's a decent length and it makes the bike quite a capable climber. Wheelbase on this bike is pretty short. This is a size medium and it's way under 1200 millimeters. So when you've got the 450mm rear end, that sort of tells us the front end isn't too long. Both of us who have been test riding this bike is just over 180mm tall, 180 centimeters tall. Yeah. And sure, we find the Thok Mig in size medium is a tad smaller than other size medium bikes. But as I've said, it's not an aggressive bike. It's supposed to be a bit more compact, to be more maneuverable and a more playful bike. Even though size medium is a tad small for us, it's not much of the seat post showing. So if we were to go to a size large bike, the seat tube is 35mm more. And Thok says the size large bike is from 175 centimeters to 184 centimeters. And we are at the top of that range. And 35mm taller, and we think this seat would be too tall for us. So when you order this bike, you need to make sure you get the correct seat post dropper length. The seat post is available in 100mm and 120mm too, but it's 150mm default from sizes medium and up. I guess we would choose size large, but we could ride a size medium, and well, we did. It felt a bit cramped when we got on it, like I've mentioned, but once we started riding, going downhill this really fast snow roads, trails, so even though the bike was a tad small, we were going really hard, leaning over the front wheel, finding lots of grip in the fast corners and having a lot of fun. I mentioned the rear wheel was a 27.5 and the front wheel is a 29er. So this is a mullet bike. It comes with 2.6 inches Maxxis S-Guy front and rear, which we didn't ride because, well, it's snow and ice everywhere. Fork is the 2021 RockShox 35 Gold RL. We have ridden that fork before, and previously we didn't really enjoy riding the 35 RL that much. But we think somehow the 2021 model works a tad better. RockShox Norwegian distributor says they're not aware of any changes made to the fork, but it's the second fork we've tested and it's okay. Rear shock is the RockShox Deluxe R, a basic but a good performer. So even though the suspension components aren't super, they're well-functioning kit, and that's the sort of kit we need on an entry-level bike like the Thok, because it's priced quite well. In Norway, prices are about 48,000 Norwegian kroners. And the rest of the kit is sort of the same. It's basic but well-functioning. So we get the SRAM 12-speed SX drivetrain with a nice range of gears, and we get the SRAM Guide T brakes. Not a super brake, but it's a 4-pot SRAM brake, so it's a decent performer for going at some speed downhill. When riding in snow and really cold conditions, we've had like -10 and below for weeks, and sun, but not today. When riding in such cold conditions, the suspension oil flows through the shim stack like syrup, and the grease on the fork has the consistency of cold candlelight wax. So it's not really easy doing a regular test of this bike in these conditions. So we just wanted to have a look at the bike, introduce it, and see what it's all about. And we think it's an interesting bike, mainly because of the price. An external battery bike, we expect it to be quite light and cheap. And it unfortunately only checks one of those boxes. We weighed it, including these pedals, which should be around half a kilo. We weighed it to 24.8 kilos. And that is quite a lot. Still, it's got its place in the lineup. It's a cheaper bike, less travel, more all-around trail-oriented. And as I've said, the looks are quite improved. So, the new Thok Mig 2.0, it's an interesting bike. It's got an interesting price, it's got interesting looks, and it's sort of quite a different bike to a lot of the other bikes on the market, with more trail-oriented, less aggressive trail-oriented bike. And sure, 150mm travel fork, it's a lot, but it feels less aggressive and less burly than a lot of the under 160mm travel MTBs we have tested.
That's it. Appreciate any likes and subscribes. Thanks for watching.